A romantic bedtime story, Part 1. A beauty that troubled the world. Tonight, let me tell you a story of love, a love that began in mystery, was tested by doubt, and endured beyond all trials. So settle in now, let your breath slow, and listen. Long ago, in a quiet land touched by sunlight and soft winds, there lived a king and queen who had 3 daughters. Of the 3, the youngest was named Psyche, and Psyche was unlike anyone else. Her beauty was so radiant, so gentle, that people began to speak of her not as a mortal girl, but as something divine. Travellers came from distant lands just to see her. They whispered her name with awe. Some even forgot to pray to the goddess of beauty herself. And this stirred something dangerous. High above, in her golden temple, the goddess Aphrodite heard these whispers, and she grew jealous. Part 2. The goddess's command. Aphrodite called upon her son Eros, the god of love, he who carried golden arrows that could awaken desire in any heart. "Go," she said, "find this girl, Psyche, and make her fall in love with the most wretched creature in the world." Eros listened, and he obeyed. But when he descended to the earth and saw Psyche for the first time, everything changed. For the moment he looked upon her, he was struck, not by his arrow, but by love itself, and so, instead of cursing her, he made a quiet, impossible decision. He would love her, in secret. Part 3. The lonely fate. Though Psyche was admired by all, no one came forward to marry her. Her beauty seemed almost too great, too distant. Suitors admired her, but feared her, and so she remained alone. At last, her father went to the oracle for guidance. The answer came, cold and strange. "Take your daughter to the top of a lonely mountain, and leave her there, for she is destined to marry not a man, but a feared and unseen being." The king's heart broke, but the words of the oracle could not be ignored, and so, one quiet day, Psyche was led to the mountain. She did not cry, she did not resist, for deep within her there was a calm she did not understand, and when she was left alone, the wind rose gently around her. Part 4. The hidden palace. A soft breeze lifted her, carried her, not to danger, but to a place of wonder, a hidden palace, golden, silent, filled with warmth. Invisible voices welcomed her, gentle hands guided her. "You are safe here," they said. "Everything you need is yours." And when night came, someone entered her chamber. She couldn't see him, but she felt his presence. His voice was soft, kind, filled with quiet love. "I am your husband," he said, "but you must never look upon me." And Psyche, trusting, agreed. Part 5. Love in the dark days passed like dreams. The palace was filled with beauty. Music drifted through the halls. The air was always warm, and each night her unseen husband returned. He spoke gently. He listened. He cared for her in ways she had never known. And slowly, without ever seeing his face, Psyche fell in love, not with what she could see, but with what she felt. Part 6. The seed of doubt. One day Psyche longed to see her sisters, and so her husband allowed it, but warned her, "Do not listen to their words, they will fill your heart with doubt." But when her sisters arrived, they looked around with envy, and soon they began to whisper, "How can you love someone you have never seen? What if he's a monster? What if you are in danger?" Their words settled into her heart like shadows, and that night, as her husband slept beside her, Psyche reached for a small lamp. Her hands trembled, but slowly she lifted the light. Part 7. The truth revealed. The flame flickered, and in its soft glow, she saw him not a monster, but the most beautiful being she had ever seen. Eros, the god of love. Her breath caught, her heart filled with wonder. But in that moment, a drop of hot oil fell from the lamp. Onto his skin, he awoke and saw her. Pain filled his eyes. "You doubted me," he said softly, and before she could speak, he vanished. Part 8. The Trials of Love. Psyche was alone once more, but now she understood, and she would not give up. She searched for him across the world until, at last, she came before Aphrodite. The goddess looked upon her coldly. "If you wish to be worthy of my son," she said, "you must prove it." And so began the trials, sorting impossible grains, gathering golden wool, journeying into the underworld, each task harder than the last, and yet, with quiet courage and unexpected help, Psyche endured them all. Part 9. The Final Test. At last she was given one final task. "To the underworld you must go," said Aphrodite, "and bring back a box of beauty." Psyche completed the journey, but as she returned, a thought stirred within her. What if I could be more beautiful, more worthy of Eros? And so she opened the box, but inside was not beauty, it was sleep, and she fell into a deep, endless slumber. Part 10. Love restored Eros had been watching, waiting, and when he saw her fall, he could wait no longer. He flew to her side. Gently, he lifted the sleep from her, and she awoke. This time, there was no fear, no doubt, only love. Eros went to the gods and asked for her to be made immortal, and so Psyche was given a place among them, no longer divided, no longer uncertain. Together, they remained, closing, and so ends the story, a story of love that began in darkness, was tested by doubt, and found its way through patience and trust. Perhaps tonight it leaves behind a quiet thought, that love is not only what we feel, but what we choose, even when the path is uncertain. Good night.